Hi, welcome to the second video in the Getting Started series. This is Lisa. In this video, I am going to walk you through how to create a new record type, create and modify a view, and add actions to a view. To demonstrate this, I am going to build an application to track a company's computer equipment and who the equipment is assigned to. I am going to start by creating the equipment record type. I will give it a title of equipment and a name of that as well. We can now update the icon. Clicking on it brings up a list, so we can select the one that best fits our record type. Now we can begin adding our properties. I am going to make the record key the equipment ID. Once we have all the properties created, I will come back in here and update the formula. Next, I'm going to quickly create the model number, manufacturer, manufacturer's serial number, and condition. The condition property is going to default to new on create only. The user will be able to update this when they create the record. On the serial number property, I am going to update the data type to integer. Now let's create the assigned to property. The created by property will have a data type of text, and we can add a formula to auto-populate the user's full name. The created on property will be a date-time data type. I will select a display format from the drop-down list as well as put a formula of now. Now that all of the properties have been created, we need to update the auto numbering to the serial number. And let's add a formula to the equipment ID. From here, we can create our first view by selecting New View. I'm going to go ahead and select all the properties and finish and load. If we turn on Design Mode, I can modify the view by dragging the items I do not want to the red X at the bottom. If I open the View Edit screen, I can rearrange the properties in the view, hiding the ones that I do not want to see, as well as rearranging the order in which they appear on the grid. Now that the view looks the way I want it to, let's add a new button in order to import all of our equipment in one shot. Let's call it Import. Let's update the icon. And now let's add the import action. We can add a developer's comment to this action. And if we save our work and we capture, we can now test this button out. So by clicking on the button, it brings up the import wizard. We can now copy all of the data from our spreadsheet and paste it onto the wizard. And once we click import, it is going to import all of the data that we pasted in the wizard. Now that we have completed the equipment record type and view, let's create the employee record type. Let's update the title to employee, as well as the name. We can now update the icon by selecting this one. Now we can add the following properties: employee ID, employee first name, and employee last name. On the employee full name, I am going to use the first name and the last name properties in the formula to calculate the full name. Now we can add the department, job title, location, and serial number. I am going to update the data type to integer on the serial number. And now I'm going to do the created by. Update the data type again. I am going to use the full name variable to populate this property. And on the created on, I'm going to update the data type. I'm going to select a format, and then I'm going to use a formula of now. Now we can go in and update our auto numbering with the serial number. And we can add a formula to the employee ID. Now that we've created all of our properties, we can create the view. So as before, we're going to select all the properties and finish and load. When we open design mode, we can again go in and modify the view by removing items that we do not want to see. We can rearrange the standard icons by dragging them to new locations on the view. We can also go into the editor and update the columns on our grid. We can either hide columns we don't want to see, and we can rearrange them so that they are in the order that we want. So now that the view looks the way we want it to, we can go in and create our first record. So let's add Nancy Jones. She's going to work in the HR department. Her title is manager, and she's going to be in building 3. We have now created 2 functioning views to our application. In our next video, we are going to look at adding a subgrid to our employee view for equipment, as well as linking properties and adding drop-down options. Thanks for watching. For more information, check out our support page at DataVoke.com.